Patrick Stewart, aka Professor X himself, in an interview recently stated that his return to the role of Professor X in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness left him frustrated and it was disappointing. Let's address this out the gate because some people are too stupid to understand this. Some videos I don't talk about for a little bit just because they're on the back burner, if you will. Some videos I make and then I just let them sit in there for a couple weeks, and once everything cools down and some people can understand what he was actually saying, instead of taking it out of context and bending it into something it's not, then I talk about it with a more level head. That's the scenario today. So this came at us from an interview that was conducted with Josh Horowitz, who got to talk to Patrick Stewart and interview him about his return. And what Patrick Stewart says is, this is important, so listen to what he said, and I quote, "I was alone. I think that the big scene, each one of the leading actors had the same experience. They were Shaw on their own. It was frustrating and disappointing. That's how it's been the last few years, have been challenging." End quote. Now, what he's referencing here is the fact that they actually had to shoot all these scenes during the pandemic. And we've known for a while now, each actor had to shoot their scenes alone and then they were put together. So every time you see the Illuminati, none of the actors were ever together. That was never done. This was a safety precaution. We've known this for a while. The reason he said it was frustrating and disappointing is because he didn't have to act around anybody. He didn't know what was going on, who was even there. We know at one point, Balder was supposed to be there, along with far different members of the Illuminati. Hence why he's disappointed and frustrated, because he literally did not get to interact with anybody. Some people have taken this and literally said, oh, he hated the MCU. He hated his return. He doesn't want anything to do with the MCU. You know, the same way that they took a quote from the upcoming Star Wars director unrelated to Star Wars and bent it into a Star Wars quote that got her all the hate. That's what they're doing here. Just read the entire thing. Or if something seems off when a grifter is grifting you, go look up what was actually said and read it in the context in which it's presented. Because now it makes sense, doesn't it? They brought him back, an actor. He is an actor who acts physically on sets and things like that, who's done that for decades. And they suddenly tell him, yeah, you know what, unfortunately, we can't tell you who you're around, because spoilers. Also, here's the scene you're doing. Do it. In front of this green screen. Pretend there's 6 other people around you, and also you're fighting somebody. We can't tell you who, though. Have fun. Yeah, that's disappointing. I would also be frustrated and disappointed. But not once did he say, Marvel shambles, Marvel bad, they're dead, I'm never working with them again. Point out to me where he said that, as some people are stating he did. You will not be able to find it. So now that we got that out of the way, yeah, some videos, I make them in advance. Some videos, literally, I'm sitting on one video that I've had for 9 months. I'm not allowed to publish it yet, up until I'm given the go-ahead. And when I do, you guys will know it. I'll put exclusive on there. I think it's very close that I'm going to be able to talk about it. It's related to Spider-Man. And the reason I'm not allowed to talk about it is because you got to protect your source. So, you know, just stay tuned.